And welcome back to the Hotline. We are talking Moto GP news. Yeah, Liberty Media in trouble over their what could be a purchase of Moto GP. As you know, they already own Formula One. They run Formula One. They've made some interesting, maybe slightly controversial decisions. Is it going to filter in to Moto GP? Well, first of all, they need to buy it. So here we go. F1 owned Liberty Media. They are under investigation, this is from race fans, by the European Commission over their MotoGP takeover. So in the roundup, the European Commission confirmed that it's investigating whether Formula One owned Liberty Media proposed takeover of the motorcycle racing series MotoGP should indeed go ahead. I mean, it's going to be interesting, isn't it? So the EC, as in, is concerned that Liberty Media are going to have too much power for broadcasting what essentially is the two echelons of motorsport. You got the four wheels for the Formula One, and then you got the two wheels for the MotoGP, the two highestly rated in terms of audience motorsport. Now, CVC Capital Partners sold its stake in MotoGP when it acquired F1 before Liberty Media. Now, it says here, by acquiring MotoGP, Dorna Sports, Liberty Media would hold the commercial rights to two of the most popular motorsports in Europe and arguably, let's be fair, probably around the world if you look at a global audience. Formula One and MotoGP, and that's what the EC's vice executive said. Now, he said, we need to more carefully assess whether this acquisition could negatively affect European broadcasters. He said, for example, in terms of increased license fees and ultimately European consumers and motorsport fans through higher prices. We will at the same time openly consider any substantiated claims by the parties about they're looking at possible benefits this acquisition might bring for the fans, for the industry, and for the consumers. Now, I thought that's definitely worth talking about because I thought that's quite interesting. Because, as you know, inside the UK, unless you have, for example, go down the VPN route and purchase the F1 app, which I think is around, I could be wrong, about £10 a month, which is really, really worth it. But normally you don't get that inside the UK. You have to get Sky, which aren't too bad. I know they've been criticised. They do stuff. I quite often watch all the sessions. I don't always watch the stuff right beforehand. I normally tune in about half an hour before, and for the actual races, because a lot of it is fluff, I think, which is good for the casual viewer, I guess, or the semi-hardcore. But the problem is Sky F1 is sometimes you need to pay over £100, 50, 60, 70 maybe, just to get the Formula One. You need a Sky subscription and then you need the F1 subscription. Now the Sky subscription, £20, £30, then the F1 is 18, so you're looking at maybe around 50. And if you get your internet with Sky as well, that's going to be a bit more. But you don't obviously need that to get the F1 deal, but when you get the internet with Sky, it ends up being maybe slightly cheaper than some other companies. So it doesn't force you to use it, but you are saving money because you're thinking, I'm getting F1, I might as well get the others. Or you can get the full Sky Sports package, which is a bit more expensive than that. The F1 channel is about £18 to £20, which I think on the face of it is one of the most expensive channels going. I guess the concern here is, are they going to do something similar to MotoGP? Now you've got the app. For example, I have WRC Plus on our Rally TV, it's called. That's about $12.99. It went up from £10 to $12.99 a month, which I think is quite expensive. It is most certainly on the expensive front. Bear in mind, we only have 14, I think, rallies a year, but they do other things. The ERC rallies, you can look at old rallies as well. They've got loads of content, very similar to the F1 app. So the MotoGP, I'm not sure how much the MotoGP app is at the moment. I'll have to double check that. And it's obviously, I think it was exclusive on BT, on the BT channels. I remember the days when it used to be free on Channel 4. Brilliant. More eyes watching it, and that's the concern. Unlike football, which is very, you can get into, and yes, there are live games at the weekends on free, or reviews or match of the day, which you can do. It does kind of seem to have a monopoly, but the issue with football is you can't just subscribe, I think, to one station and watch all the matches, for example, in the Premiership. That doesn't happen, sadly, anymore. But F1 is and MotoGP and Rally, etc., are very much different beasts. And this is what these EC guys are concerned about, and I completely agree with them. MotoGP is already behind a paywall, so what you don't want to do is limit that audience even more and put it behind a bigger paywall. Yes, it is on free TV after the fact, but as we know, sport is much better watching it live. So that is a massive concern. I still think potentially that it will go ahead. And I personally would prefer them to have different owners rather than the same owners, because I think what they've done with MotoGP is really good. So if it's not broke, don't try fixing it. Anyway, if you are new to this channel, we do lots of motorsport, and if you made it to the end, well done. You are a MotoGP champion in our eyes. Give us a subscribe, hit the notification button, give us a like, comment below, let us know what you think. If what your feelings are, or your concerns maybe, if MotoGP does indeed get taken over by Liberty Media. Are you worried that it's going to get more expensive being a fan? Speak to you soon. Thank you very much.